Hello everyone, this is my sixth lecture on network theory. Today I am going to explain you DC network theorem, Thevenin theorem and maximum power transfer theorem. In last few lectures I discussed about the basic laws, that is KCL, KVL, Ohm's law, current divider rule, voltage divider rule, then the circuit analysis technique of a linear bilateral network, that is nodal analysis and mesh analysis. Now applying all those concepts that we have learned in last few lectures, today I am going to explain you about the network theorems. There are several network theorems. Among those, the Thevenin theorem and maximum power transfer theorem is one very important network theorem. Okay. Now in this case, why I am choosing Thevenin theorem and maximum power transfer theorem together? Because of the reason that in maximum power transfer theorem we have to apply the Thevenin theorem. Now let us just start the Thevenin theorem. Now Thevenin theorem basically discovered by a French engineer Emile Thevenin in year 1893. Okay, and this Thevenin theorem is applicable to only linear bilateral network. Okay, and the statement of Thevenin theorem is Thevenin's theorem states that any two output terminals of an active linear bilateral network containing independent and dependent sources, it can include voltage and current sources, can be replaced by a simple voltage source of magnitude VTH, that is Thevenin voltage, in series with a single resistance or impedance for AC circuit, that is R Thevenin or Z Thevenin, which is the equivalent resistance or impedance of the network when looking from the output terminals with all sources removed and or say replaced by their internal resistances. Okay. So that means what? Suppose we have a this is circuit, okay, and we have a load resistance here that is connected to this linear bilateral circuit, and here we have say two sources and many resistances. Now this circuit can be converted into one single voltage source in series with a resistance. Now this voltage source is called VTH or open circuit voltage VOH, and the resistance is called the Thevenin resistance. Okay, and we can have the dual of this. That means this voltage source in series with resistance that we can convert into current source. That then what we'll have is current IS and in parallel with the resistance RN. This is called Norton's theorem, which is nothing but dual of Thevenin theorem. Okay. What we are doing, just source transformation of this voltage source in series with resistance. We transform that into current source by using the source transformation technique. Now say the procedure for applying Thevenin theorem. Now say we have a complicated linear DC circuit to, and we have a load resistance connected here. The first step is we have to find the load resistance. Where is the load resistance in the circuit, and we have to remove the load resistance first. Then what happened? We have a open circuit here, and across the point, across this AB point, we have to find out the open circuit voltage, which is known as open VOC or VTH, Thevenin equivalent voltage. So step 2 is calculate the open circuit voltage, okay, at the load terminals after disconnecting the load resistance. Now in general we can apply mesh current method, nodal voltage method, superposition method, all those to find out the value of VTH. Practical, in case of practical scenario, what we can do, we can remove the RL and you can connect a voltmeter across the point AB. You can measure the Thevenin voltage. Third point is we have to redraw the circuit. We have to redraw the circuit with each practical independent source replaced by its internal resistance, if any. Okay, and we have to look backward into the circuit to find the resistance, equivalent resistance between the load terminal. That is called RTH. Okay. Now, now in that case, we have some other criteria. That is, if we have only independent sources, that can be replaced by its internal resistance, or we can deactivate. We have to deactivate the independent sources. That is voltage source. If we want to make that value equal to 0, what we have to do? We have to short circuit that, right? That is V equal to 0. Now to make current source value equal to 0, what we have to do? We have to open circuit the current source. Then there is no current is flowing, so I equal to 0. Now step 4 is, now we can redraw the equivalent circuit VTH in series with RTH, and here across AB you can connect the RL. Okay. Now after connection of this RL, we can find out the load resistance, load voltage, power, all those parameters. So load current will be what? Nothing but IL equal to VTH divided by RTH plus RL. This is a simple application of Ohm's law, a series circuit. Now voltage across load will be what? VL, that is IL into RL. According to Ohm's law, V equal to IR. That will be VTH by RTH plus RL into RL. Or we can write IL into RL. Now power absorbed in the RL by the load will be I square IL square into RL. Okay. So that is the parameter that we can find out from that circuit by applying Thevenin theorem. Now one of the great advantage of Thevenin's theorem over the normal circuit reduction technique, it is that once we form the Thevenin equivalent circuit, that is that consists of uh, VTH, Thevenin equivalent voltage or open circuit voltage, Thevenin equivalent resistance, RTH, and load resistance, we can find out the load current, load voltage, and load power. So here our concern is to find out the voltage, power, and current in load. Okay. Now let us say how to find out the value of RTH. Now if network has no dependent sources, what we have to do? We have to turn off all the independent sources. Okay. If how to turn off? To turn off voltage source, we make it short circuit. To turn off current source, we have to open circuit the current source. If it has the internal resistance, that we have to take care. That means we have to connect the resistance value. Now if the network has dependent source, what will happen? Dependent sources cannot be turned off because they are controlled by circuit variables. Now for that, what we can do is we can connect. This is one of the method. There is another method that I will explain later. What we have to do is we can connect a voltage source V0, okay, across the AB point, across the load resistance. After removing the load resistance, okay, then find out the current I0. Then RTH will be equal to what? V0 divided by I0. Or we can connect a current source and we have to measure the voltage across the VAB point, which is equal to V0, okay, and RTH will be V0 by I0. Now what should be the value of V0 I0? That we can take as the 1 volt, or here 1 milliampere or 1 ampere, like that way. Okay. So now let us summarize that. That is resistors and independent source. That means circuit contains only resistors and independent source. Then what happened? We have to open the, we have to remove the load resistance, okay, between point AB. We have to find voltage across the open circuit, that is equal to VTH, Thevenin voltage. Then we have to deactivate the independent source, voltage source by open circuited. Sorry, this is written wrong. Okay, voltage source should be short circuit, current source should be open circuit, and find RTH by circuit resistance reduction technique. Okay, so this is wrong, you have to take care of that. Okay, voltage source should be short circuited, current source should be open circuited. Now if we have say resistors and dependent source and independent source, then what you have to do, similar thing, we have to remove RL, find out the open circuit voltage. Then what we can do is we can make the load, after removing load resistance, after finding out open circuit voltage, we can short circuit the AB point. Okay, and we can find out the short circuit current IAB or ISC. Now RT is equal to VOC by ISC. Okay, so open circuit voltage, then short circuit current, then VOC by short circuit ISC equal to RTH. Otherwise, you can connect an 1 ampere current source, find out the voltage across that. RTH equal to VOC, that voltage divided by the current. That already I explained here. Okay. So now let us take example step by step. Suppose now first point is in this circuit, you have to first find out where is the RL. Okay. Now here you can see RL is R2 equal to RL equal to 1 ohm. So this is your RL. The first point, you have to remove this RL. Okay. So RL is removed. Now you have to find out open circuit voltage between this point VAB. Okay. So to find VAB, what process we can do? We can apply a nodal analysis technique. So say this is node C. If you write KCL at node C, what we can write? I1 is entering, I2 is entering, 2 ampere is also entering. So summation of that equal to 0. Now I1 equal to what? Nothing but this is 0. So this VA, this point is nothing but 3 volt. So 3 minus VC divided by 3 ohm. Okay. And here this point B, point nothing but here, right? So this current I2 is nothing but 0 minus Vc divided by total resistance, because no current flow through this path because this is open circuited. So this current is I2, current is flowing from this ground to C. So that is 0 minus Vc divided by 4 plus 2, 6, as these two in series, because no current flows through this path. Okay. So now if you solve it, you will get Vc equal to 6 volt. Right? Now we can find out I1, I2. So you can put it here. I1 is nothing but 3 minus Vc by 3. So that becomes minus 1, and here also it becomes minus 1. So both are minus 1. That means current direction is opposite. Okay. So we can redraw the circuit. So now current direction is opposite. So this is 1 ampere, 1 ampere. Now VTH will be equal to what? So we can apply a KVL around this loop. Okay. So this is voltage rise 3 volt minus VTH minus this 2 into 1 ampere current that is flowing through this path, because no current is flowing through this path. So this is 2 volt. So 3 minus VTH minus 2, okay, equal to 0. Then VTH equal to what? Nothing but 3 minus 2, 1 volt. So that is the VTH value. Now what we can do is we can write the now we have to find out the RTH. Now we have only dependent sources. So voltage source we have to short circuit it, current source we have to open circuit it. So that we have done. This is short circuited, this is open circuited. Here internal resistance is not given, so 0 ohm. Here internal resistance is not given, so this is infinity. Okay, open circuited. So now if you look into here, what is the equivalent resistance of the circuit, that we have to find out. Now if you look in from here, what happened? Here current flows through this path and divides, and this current will go, and this current cannot flow here because it's open circuit, so this current will flow through this path. That means what? This current, same current will flow through this R1 and R3, okay, and which is parallel with R4. So R1 plus R3 parallel with R4 will get the resistance, equivalent resistance value. Now we can draw the equivalent resistance circuit. So VTH, RTH and RL. Now we can find out the value of IL. Okay. RL is given as 1 ohm. So just putting RTH, RL, we can find out IL. Now we can analyze the circuit once again to find out the current through this. So this is the current value that is showing IL 0.39 and other parameter that you can find out once again. Okay. Now let us take second example. First point, again you have to find out where is the RL. RL is here. So this one you have to remove. So after removing, you have to redraw the circuit and you have to find out VTH here. Okay. Now for that you can apply. Note, if you apply KVL, that is mesh analysis, in this path, what you can write? Voltage is rising. Okay. So 42 minus 8I, current flowing through this, say I, 8I, and here how much current is flowing? I only, because here no current is flowing. Why? Because there is an open circuit. Okay. So 8I minus 4I plus 2 minus, so drop of 30 volt equal to 0. So we can get the value of I equal to 1 ampere. Then what is the VTH now? If we apply a KVL across this loop, what we can write? 30 volt, 4 into 1, 4, so 34 volt rising, then minus VTH minus, here drop is what? Nothing but this current into resistance, so 6, right? So VTH will be equal to what? 34 minus 6, 28 volt. Okay. So applying KVL here, we find out the current I. Again KVL here, we find out the voltage VTH or VAB. Now we have to, now here we have three sources, two voltage sources, one current source, all are independent. So we have to make it, we have to deactivate those sources. So short circuiting this voltage source, short circuiting this voltage source, and open circuited this current source, we will get this circuit. Now if you look from here, what we can see, that current start flowing here and divide into two part, then that is in series with 2, that means 8 and 4 in parallel plus 4. So we will get the RTH value. Then we can put VTH and RTH, draw the equivalent Thevenin equivalent circuit. We can find out the value of IL, okay, by VTH divided by RTH plus RL. Now there is a third problem. So now we have to find out current through this branch. So this is the load resistance. Now removing the load resistance, this is the circuit. Now we have to find out VOC. Now VOC here, VTH is nothing but in parallel with this, nothing but in parallel with this. So voltage across this branch, total branch, that is equal to VTH or VOC. So this node voltage, this is ground reference. So this A point is nothing but VOC or VTH. So if we apply KVL, what we can write at this point? No, VOC node, that is VOC divided by VOC minus 0 divided by 2, VOC minus 5, this is your 5 volt point, divided by 2 equal to 3. Current, these two are, say, leaving, this is entering, and leaving equal to entering. So we got VOC value by solving as 5.5 volt. Now say we have to find out RTH. So we have to short circuit this voltage source, open circuit current source, and you have to look from here. What we can see, current is dividing in this 2 ohm resistor. So we will get RTH equal to 1 ohm. Now we can draw the equivalent circuit of Thevenin equivalent circuit, VTH RTH, and you can find out I. VTH divided by RTH plus RL. Now another problem. Now here you have to find out Thevenin equivalent circuit only. So in that case, what we can see, that this is RL. So I have removed this RL. Now we have to find out the voltage VOC or VTH. Now what we can see, that if this is open circuited, there is no current flowing through this 1 ohm resistor. That means this is, there is no voltage drop. So this is in parallel with this. That means this is in parallel with this 12 ohm resistor. Now if we apply KVL, now here I am, here the example is opposite one, that we have taken KVL equation for previous examples. Here what we are taking is, as this is this direction of current encounter negative terminal first, so minus, then plus 4i1, then plus 12i1 minus i2 equal to 0. And from this second loop, what we can see that i2 is nothing but minus i2, because i2 direction is downwards here, but I 2 ampere source is upwards, so minus 2 ampere. By putting I2 value here, we get I1 equal to 0.5 ampere. Okay. Now VTH will be equal to what? VTH is nothing but voltage drop across this 12 ohm resistor, which is equal to 12 into I1 minus I2. So 12 VTH equal to 12 into I1 minus I2. We get this value. Now we can draw the equivalent, RTH circuit to find out RTH. What is the circuit? Short circuiting voltage source, open circuiting current source. So if you look here, what we can see, 4 ohm, 12 ohm in parallel, because current divides here, and that in series with 1 ohm resistor. So 4 ohm parallel with 12 plus 1. So we got this RTH. Now we can draw the equivalent circuit, that is 30 volt VTH, RTH 4 ohm, and RL is connected with that. RL value is not given, so this is the equivalent circuit. Now say with dependent source, how to solve. Okay, so this is the circuit, this is the point DAB. So DAB is the VOC or VTH. Now here again, see here, there is no voltage drop across 2 ohm resistor, because no current will flow through this 2 ohm resistor, as this is open circuit here. So we have to find out voltage drop across 6 ohm. That will be enough to get the VTH. So here what we can write, we can write some KVL equation, that is I1, I1 is I2 and I3, now base current. So I1 is nothing but 5 ampere, so I1 equal to 5 ampere. Then if we write this KVL here, so it direction encounter negative first, so minus 2Vx, then plus 2 into I3 minus I2 equal to 0. So that is the mesh 2 loop. So from here you can get Vx equal to I3 minus I2. Okay. Now for this second loop, what we can write, 4 into I2 minus I1 plus 2 into I2 minus I3, and here plus 6 into I2. Okay. Now what is the value of Vx? Vx is the unknown variable. Vx equal to nothing but 4 into I1 minus I2. That we can put it here, and Vx also I3 minus I2. Then if we solve, we will get I2 as 10 by 3. So if I2 is 10 by 3, then VTH equal to what? Nothing but this 6 into that I2 current. 6 into I2, that is equal to 20 volt. Now how to find out the RTH? For this we are taking test method. Test method means we have to include a voltage source or current source in the place of load resistance, and that time we have to make independent voltage sources as short circuit, current source as open circuit. Okay, and set V0 value equal to 1. Then if you find out I0, RTH equal to V0 by I0. So if this current source open circuited, there is no voltage source, so no problem, but this dependent source should be kept intact. So now we can write the KVL equation of mesh 2, that is, mesh 1, that is minus 2Vx, 2 into I1 plus 2 into I1 minus I2 equal to 0, or Vx equal to I1 minus I2. Next, for the second loop, what we can write, minus 4I2. Now this Vx is here, that is equal to nothing but minus 4I2. Why? Because here direction is from negative to positive, but sign is plus to minus. So that is minus 4I2 equal to Vx. Okay. And Vx equal to I1 minus I2 we got. Then we get the relation I1 equal to minus 3I2. Now writing KVL at mesh 3, what we can write? 4I2 plus 2 I1 minus I2 minus I1 plus 6 I2 minus I3 at KVL at mesh 2 equal to 0 across this loop. Okay. And again we can write third loop as KVL at third loop or third mesh, that is 6 into I3 minus I2 2 I3 plus 1, because it encounters positive flash. This V0 value equal to 1 volt, and solving these two equation we get I3 value. Okay, then I3 value is flowing downwards but I0 flowing upwards, so I0 equal to minus of I3, that is equal to 1 by 6. So RT is equal to V0 by I0, V0 equal to 1 volt, 1 volt by 1 by 6, 6 ohm. So we got VTH and RTH. This is using the test voltage method or test method. Now we can connect a current source here also. We can find out voltage drop across that current source. Then RTH V0 by I0, and current source value we can assume as say 1 ampere also. Now another example with dependent source. Now in that case we have to first find out VOC here. Okay. Now again same thing. No current is flowing through this 10 ohm resistor, so no voltage drop. And if you write KVL across this, so voltage increases, the first method voltage increases 20 minus 6i, voltage again increases, so plus 2i, and voltage drop minus 6i. Solving this, I equal to 2 ampere, then VOC equal to what, or VTH equal to what, 6 into I, so 12 volt. Now to find out ISC, what we can, to find out RTH, what we can do, we can make short circuit this point A to B, and we can find out short circuit current. Then RThevenin will be VOC by IS short circuit. Okay. In that method, we don't have to deactivate the independent source. So I am making short circuit, find out short circuit current. So we can apply the KVL or mesh analysis. So that is 20 minus 6i minus 2i minus here 6i1 minus I2. 6i1 minus I2. Okay, at this term, because here now current is flowing because this is short circuited. So we got this equation. Now I2 is nothing but ISC. So after solving we get this equation, ISC value. This is the first equation, and second equation we can get from the second loop, that is 6 I2 minus I1 minus 10 I2. So two equation we can solve. Here I2 equal to nothing but ISC, because this is same direction. So RTH equal to VOC by ISC, which is the value you got. Okay. Now another type of example. This is a very interesting problem. Suppose we have a network or a circuit. We know the R value, load resistance value, and current. Okay. Now for this current, what is the load resistance value, that you have to find out. So applying Thevenin theorem, what you can write, VTH, RTH, and R, and there is a current flowing. So I equal to VTH by RTH plus R, which is RL. Okay. So now we can put the value I here. Okay. So VTH by VTH plus R equal to 2 ampere, where this R equal to 10. So that is VTH by RTH plus 10 equal to 2. So we got one equation, and from second we can get another equation, that is VTH by RTH plus 20. Here R is 20, current is 1.5. So we got two expressions. We can solve for VTH and RTH. We got VTH, RTH. Then we can find out what is the current. For this current, what is the value of R. So I equal to 0.6, VTH, RTH is known, so you can find out this unknown variable R. R equal to 80 ohm after the calculation. Now let us take the maximum power transfer theorem. This is invented by Moritz von Jacobi in 1840, in the year 1840. It is also known as Jacobi's law, and this basically used to find out the maximum power that can be transferred to the load circuit. Okay, so in that case, what we have to do, we have to first find out there is a network load resistance connected. First we have to find out VTH and RTH, then there is a load resistance. Now what we have to do is, what is the load current, that is IL equal to VTH divided by RTH plus RL, applying Ohm's law. Then what is the power delivered? Nothing but IL square into RL. So IL square into RL, that means VTH by RTH plus RL whole square into RL. Now, how we can find out the maximum power? What is the condition for that? Say for any circuit, what happened? Load resistance and this is the power. It goes like this. That means if load resistance increases, power increases and reaches to maximum, again start again decreasing. Now, if we find out the derivative of dp with respect to drl, that means that is the slope. When that slope is equal to 0, that is 0 means this is parallel with load resistance, that is the maximum point. So what we are doing here is nothing but we are differentiating dp power with respect to RL equal and equate to 0. That means that is the point that is parallel, slope is 0, that means parallel to x-axis, that is the maximum point. So if you do the derivation, you will get RL equal to RTH. So the condition for maximum power is RL should be equal to RTH. Now, so maximum power will be equal to what? We have to put in place of RL, we have to put RTH, and we will get the expression like VTH square divided by 4 RTH. Okay, so that is the maximum power formula. So what will be the efficiency? Now this is the maximum output power. Okay, so what is the total power delivered by the source? That is IL square into RTH plus RL. That is the total power delivered by the source. That is 2 into RL square, IL square into RL. RTH equal to RL condition. So efficiency is output divided by output power divided by input power into 100, that will give you percentage. So output power is nothing but IL square into RL and input power is 2 into RL square into RL, because there RTH plus RL we have to multiply with IL square, and for load circuit, for load resistance, that is only IL square into RL. So efficiency becomes 50%. Okay, so this efficiency becomes 50%. So the main remarks is that Thevenin equivalent circuit is useful in finding the maximum power that a linear circuit can deliver to a load. Now let us take the example. This is the circuit, and in here we have three sources. This is load resistance, so we have to find out the VOC. So we have to disconnect the load resistance. Now we can apply superposition theorem. That means superposition theorem is something that describes that the effective voltage here, that will be equal to the algebraic sum of the voltage by deactivating by single sources. That means suppose only 20 volt source is acting, these two are deactivated, then what is the voltage, plus if 2 ampere current is source is applying, these two voltage sources deactivated, what is the voltage here, then only 10 voltage 10 volt source is activated, these two sources are deactivated, then what is the voltage, then the algebraic sum will give you the voltage of with these three combined sources. That is called superposition theorem. So now to find out that, say I am deactivating these two independent sources. So this is open circuited, this is short circuited. So you get this kind of circuit. Then what is the current that is flowing through this branch? 10 ohm. That is 20 divided by total resistance, that is 5 plus 10 plus 10 20, so 1 ampere, and direction is this way. So what is the voltage drop across this? That is 10 volt, which is nothing but B to A. So VAB, A to B is minus 10 volt. Now why there is no drop? Because here this no current will flow, because this is open circuited. Now consider only 10 volt source and other two deactivated. Then what we can do? Find out that this, what is the voltage across this 10 ohm resistor, that will be equal to VAB. Now voltage dividing in two resistances, so it will be both values are same, so it becomes half of that, so 5 volt. Okay. Now only considering 2 ampere current source, then what we can say, this 2 ampere current source is divided into here 5 times of 10 ampere, 10 ohm resistor, 10 ohm resistor. So current division rules. So 1 ampere flows to this 10 ohm resistor. Voltage drop across this is 10 volt. So if you do the summation, minus 10 volt for first case, second case plus 5 plus 10, it will be 5 volt. So VOC will be 5 volt, and here no current will flow because there is open circuit. Now by deactivating the independent sources, RTH value we can calculate as here, that is, this is 5 plus 5 10 parallel with 10, so that becomes 10, then series with parallel resistance of 10 and 10, so it gives you result of 10 ohm. So this is VTH, RTH and RL. Then what is the condition for RL to find out the maximum power transfer? RL should be equal to RTH, so RL should be 10 ohm. Then P max equal to VTH square divided by 4 RTH. So you get that in watts. So this is one problem. Another problem is the RL is here. Okay, let me go to some, okay, with dependent source. Okay, so this is your RL. So deactivate, removing the RL. Now what we can see, if we apply nodal voltage, V1, this one is difference, so V1 is 10 volt, okay, and V2 minus 20 equal to Vx. This is plus minus, this is V2 and this node is 20, so V2 minus 20 equal to Vx, so you can write, and V3 is nothing but Vth. So if we apply nodal voltage at KCL at say node 2, what we can write, V2 minus 10, 100 divided by 4, then V2 minus 20 divided by 4, V2 minus Vth divided by 4. We will get one equation. Now at node 3, if we apply KCL, what we can write, Vth minus V2 divided by 4, then Vth, we can solve it by applying a node, super node also, because there is a voltage source, but we can write directly also another method. It is VTH, here it is possible to do VTH minus Vx minus 100, where Vx is nothing but V2 minus 20 divided by 4 equal to 0. So you got two equation. If you solve it, you will get VTH equal to 110 volt. Now I am here, let us apply test voltage method, that means applying a VT voltage source. Okay, then what we can write, V3 equal to nothing but V3 and V2 equal to Vx, because here this voltage source becomes short circuited. Now applying node at node 2, if we apply that KCL, what we can write, V2 divided by 4, because this is now point 0 ground, V2 divided by 4, V2 minus Vt divided by 4. Now at node KCL at node 3, that is Vt minus V2 divided by 4, Vt minus V2 divided by 4. Why? Because Vx equal to V2 again. Okay, and there is a current entering, so that will be equal to minus It. Here 2 leaving current is positive, so entering is negative, minus It. So you will get this equation, and you can solve for, if you find out Vt by It, you will get Rth value, that is equal to 3. Then RL should be equal to 3, which is equal to Rth. So you can find out the maximum power. Okay. Now see another problem. Uh, Here is the load resistance, so you have to remove that, and now we have to find out VTH, that is the across point VAB. Now what is the voltage at point A? A with respect to ground here, that means voltage drop across 20 ohm. So we can apply voltage divider rule. So 60 divided into 10 and 20 ohm resistor. So 60 into same branch resistance, 60 into 20 divided by total resistance 30, that will be 40 volt. And similarly for VAB, VB will be equal to what? 60 into 5 divided by 30, that is 10. So you subtract that, the result is 30 volt. That is the VTH. Now for RTH, this is voltage source is short circuited. Now if from here current is flowing, then what happens? These two divide into 10 and 20, and here also divide into 5 and 25, all together in series. So 10 parallel with 20 plus 25 parallel with 5, you will get RTH. So you get the equivalent circuit. Pmax will be VTH square divided by 1 by 4 RTH. So that is the RTH or equal to RL. So that is the value of Pmax. So another problem, let us say, so this is the RL, so remove the RL. So this is your V1 which is equal to VTH. So now applying KVL at this particular loop, what we can write, that it entering it looking the minus terminal first, so minus 12 plus Vx plus V1 equal to 0. So Vx equal to 12 minus V1. Okay. Now at node 1, if we write KVL, you can write V1 minus 12 volt by 2K, V1 minus 2Vx by 1000 or 1K equal to 0. And here Vx equal to 12 minus V1, that we can put, solve it for V1, you will get V1 equal to VTH value. Now to find out RTH, we can apply a short circuit method. For short circuit method, we don't have to deactivate the independent sources. Okay. Now see here, there is an independent source. Now when we are applying test voltage method, we are deactivating that. So remember, for test voltage method or test current method, we have to deactivate the independent sources. Dependent source will be intact, will kept intact. And for short circuit method, what we have to do is, we have to short circuit that. After open circuiting, make it short circuit, find out short circuit current. For that, we don't have to change anything in the circuit. Okay, voltage sources are kept intact, or current sources. So now we can write KVL. Now here what we can write, across this loop, what we can write, that minus 12 equal to Vx plus Vx equal to 0 across these two. That means Vx equal to 12 volt. Okay. Now writing the KCL at node 1, what we can write, now this is short circuited. That means what, this 0 ground is nothing but this point. So 0 minus 12 divided by 2k, 0 minus 2Vx divided by 1k. Now here Vx equal to 12 volt. So we got this ISC value as, and plus ISC, because these two current is leaving, ISC also leaving. So summation equal to 0. So you got the value of ISC. Therefore RTH equal to what? VTH by ISC. So we got the value. Okay. Now if we apply test voltage method, now see here the difference. For test voltage method, this voltage source is deactivated. Independent source deactivated. So here now Vx equal to nothing but minus Vt, because Vx direction is minus to plus, here it is plus to minus. So and V1 equal to Vt. Okay. So writing KCL at node 1, what you can write, Vt by 2k. Now Vt minus 2Vx, and Vx is equal to nothing but minus Vt. Okay. So you get this expression as IT. So Vt by IT we get equal to RTH. Okay. So we got the value of RTH. Now the application and limitation. So maximum power transfer theorem is basically used in communication systems. For instance, in a community address system, the circuit is attuned for highest power transfer with making speaker, that is load resistance, equivalent to amplifier source resistance. Okay, so when the load and source resistance matched, then it has equal resistance, then maximum power will be transferred. Now, in automobile engines, the power transmitted to the motor starter of the automobile will depend on the effective resistance of the motor and the battery's inner resistance. Those two must match with each other, so that maximum power will be transmitted to motor engine. Okay. In communication system, matching of source impedance and load impedance is required to avoid overloading of the transmitter and avoid damage to the transmitter by limiting the load current. In addition, to have example, it is also used in communication systems to avoid reflections or transmitted signals. In limitation, it is applicable only for low power circuits, and in case of power system or for maximum power transfer theorem, the main point is the efficiency is very low, that is 50%. Okay, so it cannot be used in power system where efficiency is the main concern. So it is maximum power transfer theorem is not applicable for power systems. It is only suitable for low power circuits. So these are the some of the applications because of the source and load impedance matching. Okay, so what are the main point that you have to remember? That is, if the first point is you have to remove the load resistance. For load resistance, find out the open circuit voltage. Then what you can do, you can short circuit that, find out ISC. RTH will be VOC by ISC. That is the technique. That this technique you can follow for every circuit, whether it has dependent source or independent source, and both. Okay. If we apply test voltage method or test current method, we have to deactivate to find out the, after finding out VOC, and you have to connect a voltage source or current source. That time you have to deactivate the all the independent sources. Dependent source will remain intact, and you get the, then find out the value of IT. Then you RTH you can get by dividing VT by IT, that is equal to RTH. And for IS, for short circuit method, you don't have to do anything. Open circuit it, you will get VOC. Short circuit that load resistance, you will get ISC. RTH equal to VOC by ISC. So this is the base method that you can follow according to my suggestion. So I am explaining that whenever there is a circuit, say for any circuit, what we can do is, for any circuit what we can do is remove the RL, find VOC or VThevenin. Okay. Then what we can do, again short circuit the RL, find short circuit current ISC, then RTH equal to VOC, open circuit voltage of VTH, divided by ISC, short circuit current. Now this is the method that you can follow for every problem to solve the any kind of circuit. Okay. I mean linear bilateral circuit. So that is the Thevenin's theorem, how you can solve. If the circuit has both dependent and independent sources, this method is short circuit method. Okay. Find open circuit voltage, short circuit current. So you get the VTH, RTH is VTH divided by RTH. Okay. Then we get the result. And for maximum power transfer theorem, we have to just find out VTH and RTH. Okay. And load resistance should be equal to the value of RTH, and P max will be VTH square divided by 4 RTH. Okay. So this is the concept of, those are the concept of maximum power transfer theorem and Thevenin theorem. Try to practice as much as problems possible. Thank you so much.